All right, we are done officially. The last team on the list is the Tennessee Titans. We went across the entire NFL, previewed all 32 teams. We are now giving our final predictions for the Tennessee Titans, which realistically, when I looked over this team, if there's like any like team that could take the potential jump as like a sprinkle or a dark horse, I feel like you take this team. I don't know how you feel about Brian Callahan, obviously, but we'll get into that. So, 2024 season, they finished 3-14, fourth in the AFC West or the AFC South. Excuse me. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL. The classic Will Levis meme every single week was the gift that kept on giving. Whether it be him throwing a super bad interception and then doing something stupid, or getting motherfucked by Brian Callahan on the sideline as well. It was the gift that kept on giving. I will personally miss Will Levis as a starting quarterback in the NFL. He is must-watch TV.
Yeah, I think the first 4 weeks, 3 weeks of the season, we got a new Will Levis meme every time, which is crazy. That's quite the hot streak, but those of you will remember the good moments of Will Levis. Some bombs to DeAndre Hopkins, and that's about it. But no, Will Levis is having surgery this offseason, I think, or already had it. So I don't think he'll be even playing this season, regardless.
Well, he would obviously not.
No, I'm saying as like a backup. I'm saying like if Cam Ward wasn't got hurt or something, he wouldn't even come in as a backup. Spaz on me. But no, it was the Will Levis and Mason Rudolph show for Tennessee this last season. Just a really bad situation to be in quarterback wise. But I will say, looking back through their schedule from 2024, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were in one possession games, and they were in 6 one-possession games that they ended up losing. So I would say that's something that's probably a positive if you're a Tennessee Titan fan, is like, okay, maybe we get a little bit more competency, more consistency in there at quarterback, and some of those one-score games start to flip our way. So that's something that I would potentially consider as a bright spot moving into this next season. Another one was, I think that Tony Pollard looked a lot better last year versus his first year in Tennessee. So that's a good sign. But that's really probably where I'm going to draw the line. I think Ridley showed some flashes. I think that people are more excited about him this upcoming season, but we'll see how that pans out.
Dude, I think as much as I want to do it so bad. I want to do it bad because I think Cam Ward's a dude. Cam Ward's probably one of the most under-discussed first overall picks of all time. And you have heard nothing but amazing things about Cam Ward and how he has walked in to the Tennessee Titans organization and has just established himself as a leader with the entire group, and everyone respects him. I said it the other day in the Chicago Bears episode, but Tennessee Titans fans will know this. He started a group where they came in at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and the head coach thought that it would kind of die down once they started getting into the swing of this offseason, the preseason program leading up to the season. And those guys are in there every single day at the same exact time. So I think that means something a little bit, as dumb as it sounds. But when you're just looking for leans, or when you're looking for to see if a guy has that it factor, I just think Cam Ward is that dude that can have that it factor. And we have watched, we've talked about it time and time again, but the teams that have had these rookie quarterbacks come in and automatically transform the franchise, the only at ease that I have with that is Brian Callahan the guy? Is he the coach with the quarterback? Because when you look at the other situations, the coach that came in with the quarterback ultimately made the ability to have the jump. D'Amico Ryans, Dan Quinn. Is he the guy, Brian Callahan? My gut feeling says no. And that's what's holding me back from putting this team, who I think is talented and could potentially do some things this season because of like a Cam Ward, a Tony Pollard, a Calvin Ridley. I think that their offensive line is pretty good. Like they have some dudes on this offensive line. And then on the other side, on the defense, you get L'Jarius Sneed back, and then you have like an all-pro like Jeffrey Simmons. And if Devondre Sweat could potentially take a step forward, whatever. I just think that, like I said, I'm at pause because I don't think Brian Callahan is going to be the long-term head coach for the Tennessee Titans. But I do think Cam Ward's a dude.
Yeah, I share the same thoughts. I'm more so like I don't know what to think of Brian Callahan just because of how shaky that quarterback situation was last season. But I do like Cam Ward. I think it's crazy that he has been like the least talked about first overall pick since I can probably remember. And maybe that's a good thing because normally you're the number one pick and you're doing something. If you do something wrong, all of those things are put under a microscope and you're on everybody's radar, and those things all get highlighted. And I haven't really seen anything bad being said or negative publicity or anything about Cam Ward. So when you mentioned it, I do think it means something. Do I think it means everything? Like I said earlier, no, but I think I'd much rather have my quarterback be in the media for nothing if he's doing all the right things rather than in the media for stirring up chaos. So I think they have a guy. We'll see how it plays out, but he's doing everything right, it seems, leading up into week 1 of the NFL season.
Yeah, it's hard because you just look at the way that this team starts out the season, just starting with Denver and Los Angeles. Like those are just two tough games to open up as like a rookie. To go on the road at Denver against a tough defense in your first ever start, I think that'll tell a lot about this football team right away. If they can somehow, if they keep this game close and potentially even upset the Broncos to like start week 1, this team might put the entire league on notice. And then at that point, let's reassess of what the Tennessee Titans could potentially be. Because I think that although a long shot, I do think that it could potentially be a possibility. I do like their spread in that game when I was looking at it at 8 points. It's just a lot, 8.5 points. It's just a lot. But I think that if they're able to potentially knock one of those teams off in the first 2 weeks of the season, I think it'll tell a lot about who the Tennessee Titans are as a football team for 2025.
Yeah, and I think the thing that they should realistically set as the goal is make sure that you have a good culture set, and let's just see if we can let's just go out there and just compete, because a team that wins 3 games the previous year, you need a lot of things to go right the following season, and that's obviously not out of the question. It's happened, but you have to get a lot of bounces. You have to have your young quarterback absolutely pop, which could happen. We saw it last year with B. Daniels. But I think the difference is the coaching staff that was in place in Washington versus the coaching staff that's here in Tennessee. I think to start the year, we probably like bits and pieces of this Tennessee Titans team more than we liked that Commanders team last year. We both thought they were going to be horrible. At least on paper, I think I really like Tony Pollard. I think this offensive line should be pretty decent. I don't hate the combination of, well, they just got Tyler Lockett, so they're going to win a Super Bowl. But I don't necessarily hate the combination of Ridley and Tyler Lockett as some reliable veteran wide receivers for a rookie quarterback. But the coaching staff is where I am more hesitant than the actual roster makeup itself.
Yeah, so, some win total stuff. They're sitting at 5.5 as a win total, like this upcoming season. Then they have the worst odds in their division as well. They're sitting behind the Indianapolis Colts are sitting at plus 350. They're sitting at plus 700. I think that's mispriced. If you're asking me right now, are they the worst team in this division? I'd say absolutely not. I think it's the Colts in my personal opinion. So, I don't know. What do you think about the win total? Do you think they could potentially go over under 5.5? And what do you think about them being priced dead last in the division?
I think the pricing of them at dead last is solely because they have a rookie quarterback, but the Colts situation at quarterback is just so dog shit that I don't know. I don't know what they're baking into it. Probably just that those guys have NFL experience and we don't know what Cam Ward is going to look like at the NFL level. That would be my guess. But I don't know. I would take my chance on this team not finishing last in this division. I think they'll be able to run the football. I think Cam Ward is going to be better than Daniel Jones and or Anthony Richardson this season. So I like that aspect of it too. But yeah, I just don't see this team. I just don't like the Colts. I think they are going to suck. So it seems unfair, but I get it. He's a rookie quarterback. You don't know what you're getting. With that being said, though, I like them to win more than 5.5 games.
I'm right there with you. So at ease, potentially, like I said, I think that let's monitor weeks 1 and 2. I mean, if they even could potentially keep it close, it just might tell a lot about what this team could potentially be this upcoming season. And my big lookout is it might be the reason I say it is just think about all the elimination pools or whatever the hell that people do those picks. I've never done one personally. I would love to. So if you have one, invite me. Where you pick a team and if they win or lose or whatever, every single person's going to be picking Denver. I a bunch of tweets dropped today, like 97% of the money is on Denver. They're going to be in every money line parlay. They're going to be in every teaser. They're just going to be in everything across the board. And is that a letdown spot? Is that a letdown spot at Denver? I think it would probably shock everyone if it happened. And that's why I think that it's a possibility, because even when you look at the odds of like on the sports books and stuff, like it's sitting at 8.5. You're telling me a rookie quarterback going into his first game of a team who's priced dead last in their division and their win total being at 5.5 against a team that everybody is pretty much crowned as perennial playoff team, that should be a way longer spread, because everybody, the way that the books have the Titans price for the entire season is that this is going to be a team that's picking top 3 in the draft again this upcoming year. And they're going up against a team who people are pretty high on. So just something to, if it happens, but I'll clip this and we can roll it out as a short form clip. But that is something that I'm heavily monitoring and considering betting coming up this weekend.
The other thing I will say too is, for some reason, some weird shit always happens at the beginning of the year, like those first few weeks. The Saints were the best team in the NFL for the first 2 weeks of the year. The Patriots beat the Bengals in that first game of the year. The Ravens lost to the Raiders early in the year too. So like
week 2, some
weird things happen these first few games of the year. Just something to monitor as we head into into week one is potentially that Titans game, because what I could end up seeing is this Titans offensive line is an improved version of themselves, and they just slow the game down. So there is a path, but yeah, just something to monitor. Those first few games of the season are always kind of weird.
I'm right with you. And that's it. We're done. That's the whole 9. It feels good to finally crank those out and have them finish just in the nick of time Tuesday before the first Thursday game.
I just spit it. Good girl, we're getting paper as a passion. Collect the stacks and bring it back, man, and take vision.